Controversial ENT in the building, guys. Welcome back to another one. All right, guys, let's answer your questions because you lot have been asking about why is Terence Crawford forcing the rematch at 147 against Spence? Why is he not fighting him at 154? A lot of people are upset about it. They don't understand it. People are calling it a duck. People are calling it foul play on Terence Crawford's part. Bad sportsmanship. You know, you was given an opportunity. Why don't you return the favor the right way? Are you scared? All of that stuff. A lot of what people are saying doesn't make sense, but I do understand where the sentiment's coming from. So I'm going to answer the question as to why Terence Crawford is choosing to fight at 147. And at the end of this video, you're going to understand it, and it makes perfect sense, actually. I would actually go as far as say I support Terence Crawford's decision. And let me tell you why. First thing, it's got nothing to do with Errol Spence. Crawford's decision for wanting to fight at 147 has nothing to do with Spence. So if you think it's to do with ducking or anything like that, you're completely wrong, and you don't have much fighting experience, whether in ring or outside, because a guy who you have absolutely battered in every aspect is not someone you fear. So it has nothing to do with Errol Spence at all. What it has everything to do with is money. Why? Because Terence Crawford is looking at Jermell versus Canelo Alvarez. And he is saying, I want to fight the winner of that fight. Terence Crawford believes that Canelo's going to win, and he wants to fight Canelo next. He does not want to fight against Spence because a fight against Spence means at least a December showing at the earliest, at the latest, a summer next year showing. To fight summer next year, that's the fight he wants against the winner of Jermell versus Canelo. He wants that fight for summer next year. If it's going to have a big fight like that for summer next year, he doesn't want to fight in December. He doesn't need a December fight if he's got a summer fight next year coming. He doesn't need a December fight. He doesn't need that at all. Also, understand something. Spence, the rematch does not bring in anywhere near as much money as a Canelo fight, potentially. I keep saying Canelo because in Crawford's eye, Canelo wins. Now, even if Jermell beats Canelo and it's Jermell against Crawford, depending on how the fight goes, how quick the fight was, it all depends on lots of factors. Crawford will want that fight next. Now, most likely that fight is going to happen next year again, at some point next year. It could be early next year, but it's going to be next year. He does not want a Spence fight to come in between a mega fight like that. For him, Errol Spence can wait. So really, the 147 rematch that Terence Crawford is saying he wants to fight, it's just a way to sort of push Spence back so that he has to wait for Crawford to be done with that mega fight before he fights Spence. What Terence Crawford wants is for Errol Spence to say, you know what? It's kind of like paying someone step-aside money. He wants him to say, you know what? I'm not going to take the rematch right now. You go have your mega fight, and then we'll do the fight down the line. Think about the logic, guys. If Terence Crawford, or if Errol Spence tells Crawford, fine, we do the rematch a little down the line, you go and have your mega fight against the winner. It works out in Spence's favor anyway. Why? Because A, the fight is bigger, because then Crawford would have come from fighting a Canelo or a Jermell. Let's say Crawford wins. It's a mega fight now against Spencer. The rematch is a mega rematch, simply because of what Crawford's achieved. If Crawford loses, it makes no difference. It's still a bigger fight. Because now he's taken an L here. Spence already took an L by Crawford. There's two guys that have taken L's now meeting each other. Either way you look at it, it's a bigger fight. And the reason why I say it makes even more sense if Spence waits and he delays the rematch until after Crawford's had his mega fight against the winner of Canelo is because at what weight do you think Crawford's going to be fighting the winner of that fight? He's only going to be fighting at 154 plus. Think about it. He's not taking that fight at 147. He's not going to fight Canelo or Charlo at 147, is he? He's only going to fight them at 160, 154, or 168, one of those weights. Who does that benefit? It benefits Spence. Because then when he does meet Spence, he's not going to tell Spence, oh, guess what? I had to go up to 160, only for me to bring myself down and yourself to 147. He's not going to do that. No one's trying to push their way high like that to come and bring it down. They're not trying to do a Roy Jones, muck around with your body weight so that it impacts how you fight. No one's trying to really do that. Water break. If I'm making sense, guys, hit the like button. Because this is making sense to me. It's a money grab. It makes a lot of financial sense what Terence Crawford is doing. And actually, for Spence, it works out for him too. So Crawford has the winner of Canelo at a higher weight. He has to go up in weight to fight that fight, to come down a few pounds only to meet Spence, maybe at 160, maybe at 154. But he's not going to put himself through a strong, harsh regimen of coming down to 147 after fighting the winner of Canelo. He's not going to do that. That benefits Errol Spence. So do you understand why Terence Crawford is trying to discourage Spence from having this rematch right this minute? He does not want the Spence fight to come in between the early next year fight, mega fight that's happening. Because the Spence fight in the fall, as I say in America, in the fall, during the winter season, is going to get in the way of an early next year fight, mega fight against Canelo or Charlo for Terence Crawford. He doesn't want that. He wants the money. He's prioritizing the money, which is that fight there. So Spence has got to take a back seat. Now, how do you discourage Errol Spence? Put the fight at 147. He's not going to want to take it straight away if that's the case. You see what I'm saying? Boxing is not just a sport, guys. It's a business. You have to understand the business of boxing. These fighters are getting wiser with how they're moving. They've been managed in a wiser way and they're prioritizing money and they are prize fighters. So what do you expect? For me, it makes sense. I think it's a very, very, very smart move. Very smart move. These are the kind of smart moves that Floyd would have made. I salute Terence Crawford for the smart intellect in which he's showing 100%. And I think Spence should take it. I think Spence should delay it until after Crawford's had the mega fight. Spence really needs to stay busy fighting that period. I think Spence should fight again, but not Crawford straight away. I think Spence should have another fight just to show the public that, listen, this guy was good. It wasn't that I was deteriorated. Because look, I've just battered this other guy in the meantime, innit? I think that's healthy for Spence. And then whilst he's doing that, he can then look for another big rematch with Crawford later down the line. But that rematch with Crawford won't happen until at least around the fall, winter time next year. It won't happen this year. You feel me? So that's what it is. Traversal ENT. I feel like I've broken it down to you in a way that makes sense. Hopefully we can stop with all the stupid comments about Terence Crawford being afraid of Spence, which is beyond bizarre. It's preposterous to even think that. It's ludicrous. Make sure you hit the like button and comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts. Peace out.